how'd it feel to be back out there?
It felt good. It felt really good to be able to play the game I love again. My teammates go through a pregame routine. It's been a while. I haven't played five since December 4th, so that was my first. A little rusty, a couple of turnovers, stuff like that. But I felt good. I worked on my game. Credit to staff, a lot of my guys. Spending extra time before practice or after practice. Players, staff, video guys. Everybody making sure I'm in shape. Todd, Lady Jess, everyone just kind of making sure that I'll be ready to go when I came back. So I'm appreciative and thankful for that.
How do you feel physically?
I feel good. Yeah, I feel good. I worked extremely hard over the course of the last few weeks. Conditioning, building my body back up, getting up shots, shooting while I'm tired. And it's, I think you can tell. Mm-hmm.
CJ Johnson said that you were texting just about every game, calling, so you love the way the team's playing. It was really eating at you, but you couldn't be out there and be a part of it.
Yeah.
Well, describe what the experience was.
Not playing. It was tough, man. Hard to watch. I would generally watch, most of the games with my wife and our dog, and then my mother-in-law would come in town, my mom would come in town, we would watch, and it was hard, but I'm thankful I had that time with my family. I'm thankful I could be with my wife throughout her entire pregnancy, essentially, the last, month, through that third trimester, all the appointments I was able to go to, obviously able to be there for the birth and, be able to have a healthy, clean birth with no COVID. When we had that team outbreak, I was a little worried, because it was down the stretch for me, but it was tough to watch because, they're having fun, they're competing, and as a competitor, you want to be a part of that, and it's no fun. It's never fun watching.
Johnson said a lot of people could come back and force up a bunch of shots, but he loved that you didn't force anything tonight. You just let it come to you and play your normal game. Is that kind of in your back of your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I am who I am as a player. Obviously, I can do a lot of stuff, but, they've been playing well. A lot of guys are, evolving into new roles. Obviously, Anthony's playing extremely well. Nas is playing well. Those guys are kind of finding themselves and figuring out who they are as engaged players. I already know who I am. I already know what I'm capable of, but I'm just trying to play winning basketball. At the end of the day, that's how I've always been my entire life. Take the shots that are there. You get an ISO situation or a time throughout the game where you want to attack, I do that. Take what the defense gives me. I'd like to get the 4 turnovers back, but I thought I took 13 makeable shots. I missed a couple, made a couple. And I'll continue to kind of build my conditioning, build my timing up, and just play the right way, play winning basketball, and do whatever I can to help impact the game.
We'll go to the Zoom. Aaron Fenfers, go ahead.
Hey, CJ, welcome back. You talked a little bit about it already, about just being home with your wife. Now, obviously, you wouldn't want to be injured and it sucked not playing, but I mean, was that still almost a blessing in disguise and provided you with a really special time to be with your wife during that time?
Yeah, for sure, man. All my injuries have been blessings in disguise, although unfortunate and weird. I fractured my foot, last season on a layup. And, my wife's mother, her grandmother ends up passing away. And if I wasn't hurt, I wouldn't have been able to be there for her. I would have been traveling and things of that nature. So that was a blessing. I was able to go to the funeral. I was able to be with her during those times. And then this particular instance, I thought I had bruised ribs, right? And it turns out I had a collapsed lung, which is crazy to think about. And you don't know a lot about it. It's very scary, but I was able to be home during the third trimester, which is an extremely important time for people that have kids. They understand, there's a lot of nerves, there's a lot of anxiousness. There's a lot that goes into that. So I'm thankful I was able to support her, be with her every step of the way, and including throughout the birth, and then being able to be home a few extra days before I joined the team. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the team for allowing me to get that time. This is a once in a lifetime situation, maybe 2 or 3, depending on if you have kids down the road, but you only have one first child. And the team, the ownership, they were great about allowing me to have that time, allowing me to, kind of do what I needed to do to get myself ready before return.
You mentioned the injury was pretty scary. Can you talk a little bit more about what you were going through during those first few days when you were being diagnosed and hearing collapsed lung? I mean, I heard it and I was like, holy crap. What were you going?
I mean, when you hear collapsed lung, you think the worst. So first I'm thinking, like, am I going to be okay? And then 2, I'm thinking, like, am I going to be able to hoop again? Like, is this it? Like, 9 years in, like, do I got to walk away? And, always put my health first and my family first. And, I got to talking to doctors, pulmonologists, and speaking to specialists, and they're like, this is common, this happens a lot, whatever. These are things you have to do. But, I was operating as if I had bruised ribs for a little bit. And then I found out, on the scan that I actually, had a collapsed lung, and it was just hard to breathe. It was hard to lay down on the right side, like moving the arm and stuff. But then it progressively got better. I did some breathing treatments, some breathing exercises, and then think the hardest part was like 7 days of like nothing. Like I couldn't hoop, I couldn't lift, I couldn't run. So I'm just like watching Netflix. I'm watching Boardwalk Empire. Just spending time going on dog walks. Like with my wife, she's trying to walk the baby off. So we were just doing stuff. And then I was just asking like pulmonologist, like when can I like run on the treadmill or something? Like I don't want to just take all this time not moving, but also trying to do what I can to make sure my lung is good. And once I got able to pick it up, I started walking on the incline, running, and then shooting free throws, and then slowly transitioning back.
Jason, please go ahead.
Hey, CJ. So as you've kind of documented for the past month or so, you've had a lot on your mind, be it the lung, your wife being pregnant, the team being away from the team. Where's your mind at now? Is it kind of a relief now, or can you kind of describe your mindset now after getting past those two big life events?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably the most happy and at peace I've ever been in my life. I mean, I've generally been at peace, historically, but now to just see my son, to see my wife, the joy that, he brings to our family, seeing her healthy, being able to get through, having a baby is a miracle in itself, but then having a baby during a pandemic is like a completely different animal just because of all the things that could potentially go wrong, especially with me playing in front of 20,000 people and traveling city to city every day. It's a lot. And then, you add in our COVID exposure, the last month, we went from no positives to like 18 plus within our organization. So that was a scary time for me, but I'm thankful. I'm happy. I'm at peace. Game is fun. I work on my game every day. I go home and be a father. I go home and be a husband, a son, all those things. And I think I'm just in a space that I think only fathers can probably relate to, where you just feel really at peace and you really have a great understanding of what's important to you or what means, something to you and your family. And I have purpose, and, I've always had purpose before, but now I really truly have a real purpose in my life, which is to be a good man, and try to raise my son to the best of my abilities. And I think that's what brings me the most joy. The game is great. I'll play great some nights. I won't play great some nights, but, the consistency will be in my household, and I'll try to hold it down for them.
Do you feel like having that kind of peace in your life can translate to the court or have an effect on how you play in the court?
Absolutely, man. We're all humans, and I'm sure, we've all gone through, our own, personal issues and personal situations that may cause doubt, may cause fear, may cause anxiety. And I think we've all experienced that. But I think understanding where my family is at now, where my wife is at, and I can see, the joy in her face, when I'm speaking to her, on FaceTime, or when I'm talking to her in person, letting her know like, hey, I got to go back to work. I can see that everything is okay, and I feel comfortable leaving. I'm sad to have to leave and go do things, but I have a job to do, and she understands that and respects that. But I think it makes it easier when your household is stable, is solid, and everyone is safe and healthy. I think it's much easier to play and work and go out into the real world when everything at home is the way it should be. So yeah, I would say that I'm in a much different space now than I was, to start the season, because I'm, as the president of the PA, I'm exposed to a lot. I see a lot. I understand everything behind the scenes, a lot of moving parts that the general population may not always, be aware of, especially our players. So it can be, scary at times when certain things are coming. Like I knew we were going to have a spike in positives in January. And I told the team, like, this is what's going to happen based on what I've researched, based on what I've been told. And literally a week later, we had 7 positives. Like, unbelievable. It was like I predicted the future, but I just was going by what I was told.
Right. Hey, so when you look at Jacoby, do you see yourself in any aspect of him?
I mean, he's so innocent, man, and so precious, and he's like our little angel. I told my wife she's my angel, and she gave us an angel. But you can see, like, some of the features. He's got my nose. I got a big nose. He's got her eyelashes. He's got her hair, because I got nappy hair. So he's got her, like, nice hair, and just so precious. Like, every movement, even the cry is just like, oh, he's crying. Like, whatever. 4 a.m., I'm trying to change the diapers. It's like, it's not many things that bring joy, even under those circumstances. Like, I wouldn't want to sacrifice my sleep for generally anything, but for him and for my family, I'm at peace with it. Like I've never been excited to change the diaper before. Like, but now I'm trying to rush and do it. Like, this is cool. Like he peed in his pepper. Like, this is really cool. Like, what color is the poop today? You know what I'm saying? Like, going through that as a father, like it's the best feeling in the world. So like everything else outside of my life is like, it's great and it's cool to be in the NBA and stuff, but that's my pride and joy.